Hi, my name is Janell and I own Sweet Elaine Boutique, which started as an online store. And through the years, we have a store. That's when I'm here. I'm in the middle of the store coming to talk to you. And from the pink couch, we call this the pink couch. It's one of the most comfortable couches. And uh, people have been encouraging me to start a podcast. And honestly, I'm a little scared. I've never really thought about anything like this before, but I figured, you know what? 2025 is the year of doing things new, and why not do something really scary, right? So, why not start a podcast? And as I've researched, it looks like doing something once a week and having guests come on is the way to go. And Lord knows, I have lots of people that can promote their businesses, lots of customers, lots of experiences to share. So why not? But this will be the first episode. And I thought it would only be fitting to do a little bit of background as to why I got started in this business and then lead to where we are today and where my passion comes from. And recently I released an ebook, and it's kind of the culmination of a lot of work that I've done since 2017. So I thought it's only fitting to do a podcast on that subject. So here we go. My name is Janell McPhail, and I am married, and I have 3 children, and they all help me here in the business. The store has 2 other employees, and majority of the business is online. What we do have a store here, and we have local customers come by. However, the passion for the business is to educate. And I feel strongly that when you educate women about their bodies, that they slowly feel more comfortable in their skin and are more willing to try new things, especially in regards to their clothes. Now, it's a little bit convoluted and confusing because everything in the store is for sale and it's actually on our website. And if you know your sizes, then it's super easy to shop. Like this top and these earrings that I'm wearing, they're all available for sale on the website. You know, what the mannequins are wearing, all these things. And so we teach in the clothes that then can be sold. So that part I think confuses people because the mission is to teach, but obviously we have to make a living. And so we also sell the clothes that are featured here in the store. We ship worldwide. We do have customers worldwide. And new inventory hits the store almost every single Friday. So that's kind of the background, if you will. I started the business in 2017, just really for a knack that I had for styling and helping my own friends find what's best for their body and for their coloring. And it has evolved into a business that is very near and dear to my heart because when I have the opportunity to work with somebody, either here in the store or remotely, and explain to them about their body and their body shape, and they start applying what they've learned, it really is life-changing. And it sometimes takes ladies a year, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit shorter, but it makes such a big difference. And certainly it's the work that they're doing for themselves in their own journey, but in some way I had help with that, and that's what keeps me going. So even though we have clothes to sell, what keeps me going is educating women about their bodies. And so that's really what drives this business. So over the years, I have studied and learned and um, researched different things, and there's lots of different ways to categorize women's bodies. And as a stylist, you can take lots of different roads and explanation, and we can go into lots and lots of data, and it can get kind of complicated. But I choose to take a higher level, a little simplistic level of explanation, because it really just boils down to 5 body shapes and understanding how to work within those body shapes. So, but yes, every single body is different. Everybody's height is different. How they're broken up proportionally, it's different. So I really enjoy working with women. And once we've determined what their body shape is, explaining to them like, oh, your proportions are different. So even though you're an hourglass build, you're going to want to make sure you wear, your pants higher waisted or lower waisted, and wear longer shirts or shorter shirts or whatever it is, to really create the balance that your body is going to need for your particular proportions. So there's kind of a level of understanding, or a continuum of understanding, or timeline, or I don't know what we want to call it. I don't know, but it starts with the basics. And then the more and more I'm able to work with people, the more we can get into more specifics about like their particular body. Because yes, every woman is different. And if you have the opportunity to go to our Facebook or our Instagram pages, you'll see comments from women that are like, well, yes, but I'm 6 foot tall, or I'm only 5 foot tall. And those are all very, very valid. And I'm not saying that those don't matter. I'm saying at the end of the day, we have to keep it simple so that we have a starting point. And there are 5 different body shapes. Now, if this is something that is really interesting to you and something you've never really thought of, and you don't want to listen to the rest of what I have to say, you can always go to our website, sweetelaineboutique.com, and there's a search bar, and you can search for our ebook. We have an ebook. I just published it. It's right now, it's only available for download. I'm looking to see if I can have some printed, and then I could ship things out. I'm also looking for distribution on Amazon and other things, but those are slower moving. So bear with me here. But this is an ebook that you can download directly to your iPad or to your phone, and you can learn about how you can go through this process yourself at home. It's $9.99, and you download it, and it's available instantly. So you can pay for it and then download it directly to your email, and then get the email and then download it directly from your email to your device, and you can read it all by yourself. So it's, like I said, it's a culmination of all of the work that I've done in one place for the 101. So we'll just call it Learning How to Style by Body Shape in the 101 class. So it's a really, really good place to start, because through the years, what I've learned is most women do not think about how and what to dress for their body shapes. They definitely have an idea of what looks good, but they don't know why. And so it's like this little tool that once you've unlocked it and you figured out what your shape is and then how you should dress for that shape, it's like this tool that is just amazing. And you are armed with this information that really helps when you get dressed every single morning, or when you need a special occasion dress, or when you're getting ready for your next family photo shoot. Whatever that is, when you're armed with this information, it makes all of those events so much easier. Okay, so briefly, because I'm not going to go into too much detail, just kind of give you a touch of what it is that we do here in the store. There are 5 different body shapes in general. And this is the simplistic version, but I made little cutouts for some visualizations. The first body shape is the hourglass body shape. It's probably the one that most women are most familiar with. And I believe it's because it's the most balanced body shape. Most famous people, or not most, but a lot of famous people like Marilyn Monroe are this body shape naturally. And then a lot of famous people, if they're not this body shape naturally, they go through augmentation to become this body shape naturally. It also is the shape that you work toward as a stylist. So just because you want to create curves if there aren't curves in your shape, you want to create balance on the top and the bottom where there may not be balance. So it's kind of like the starting point. It's by no means like the perfect shape, because even when you're in hourglass shape, you still have your issues and your concerns, but it is the most balanced of the body shapes. So it's what we draw start from. So hourglass is the first body shape. That is where your shoulders and your hips are nearly the same measurement, with your waistline being the smallest measurement. This shape has a defined waistline, and they do tend to be busty, and then they tend to carry weight in their thighs. Now, not to be confused with the pear body shape. And of course, all stylists have different names for these, or not all stylists, but there's lots of different names for these as well. But this is the most common name, is a pear body shape. And so it's just that. It's shaped like a pear, where the shoulders are the most narrow, and then the hips are the widest and this is not anatomically correct, where the waistline is the smallest, is almost equally small as the shoulders. So this is called the pear body shape. And in real life, when it's not just a figure, a lot of times ladies who are pear are not busty. They have really nice collarbones in a really nice upper torso area. They just carry most of their weight in their hips. And so sometimes they get confused and think maybe they're an hourglass shape because of the waistline and the curviness that these two shapes have in common. But the biggest difference that I've learned between a pear and a hourglass, even if you're like on the cusp of maybe being one or the other, is that a pear shape gains weight at the last point in their neck and in their arms. An hourglass will gain weight in their arms and then probably through their neck. Hourglass gains weight very uniformly, but a pear shape will gain weight in their bottom and in their stomach first, and they gain weight last in this upper part of their body. So where, like, say you're a size 16 and you don't know if you're a pear or an hourglass because you're curvy, that is the biggest difference, is that a pear shape's not going to carry weight through here in your neck, and you're not going to carry weight through the arm. And if you do, it's like the last place you carry weight. But very curvy, very similar recommendations as far as accentuating the waistline and all of those things. So shape number 1, hourglass. Shape number 2 is your pear. Then you have the rectangle body shape. Now, this is the shape that most models are. So like when you see runway models, when you see swimsuit models, well, maybe not swimsuit models, because swimsuit models do tend to be busty. But when you see fashion models, they tend to be rectangular shape, which means they're not curvy. Their shoulders and their hips are nearly the same measurement, and then their waistline is straight. So there's not a defined waistline at the center of their waist. Now, when you're thinking about someone who's 5'10" and only a size 6, that's a really thin woman. And in general, though, most women that are rectangle shaped aren't always that thin, right? Now, let me back up. That's not true. Women can be all shapes and sizes within all of these body shapes. But I like to explain the rectangle shape for somebody who's maybe like a size 12 or a size 14 instead of a size 6 and also 5'10", because it changes our thought process. Okay. So when a model is a rectangle body shape, we know what that looks like. But somebody who's a size 12 or a 14 that is a rectangle is still going to be straight through the side. They're going to be thicker. They're going to gain weight in their thighs. They're going to gain weight in their upper body area. And then they're also going to be thicker through the midsection. They're not going to be round through the midsection, but thicker. And so it's almost like an hourglass as you gain weight, but a rectangle body shape is not going to have that defining curve. The other difference is usually rectangle body shapes are not busty at all. In fact, out of all of the body shapes, this is the one that tends to get breast augmentation the most to help balance their shape overall, to create more curves, because this shape is like, these ladies will tell me they feel like a boy because they're straight up and down. So visually, it's your models that you're so used to seeing in all our advertising and fashion magazines. But in reality, it really just means that this and your hips are nearly all the same measurement. And then you tend to not be busty. Okay. But you carry weight in your thighs, you carry weight in your arms, and you carry weight in your midsection, but you're not busty. That is rectangle. Then we have the apple body shape. Now, this isn't the best example of an apple. Like, I hand cut this, so bear with me. But your apple body shape is going to be the measurement at the shoulders and the hips are nearly the same, but instead of going in at the sides, there's going to be an undefined waistline. So a lot of ladies think that they change into apple as they get older or as they've reached menopause. And I'm here to tell you, your body shape is God-given. It is the way your skeletal structure is and the way your muscles are built upon that structure. It has very little to do with your weight. So even as you lose and gain weight, you can stay the same shape. The only way you change shapes, in my experience and through my research, is to do so with augmentation, cosmetic augmentation. And when I have a client coming in and say they're rectangle but they're not measuring rectangle because they are busty, I do ask, have you had a breast augmentation? And then it changes the way you style, because it's like you've become an hourglass, whereas you were a rectangle before. And there's some similarities there. But that, again, is what is specific to that customer. An apple is one of those shapes that a lot of women feel like, I just became because I didn't do enough sit-ups or because I didn't do Pilates or whatever. It's really not. That's really not an apple. An apple body shape is going to be busty. They tend to be shorter torsoed, and they have fantastic legs. This particular shape, because there's an undefined waistline, they're constantly having a hard time finding pants that sit on their hips. They just always fall. So it's harder to find pants that in this shape. So a lot of these ladies will wear dresses, shorts, and skirts. That's not to say you can't wear pants. It's just you have to find the right type of pants for your shape. And once you know that and you are this shape, again, it's like a game changer. So I cannot stress enough, it doesn't matter your weight. You can be an apple body shape and be a size 2, or you could be an apple body shape and be a size 20. Okay. So apple body shape, nearly the same measurement in the shoulders and the hips, and then an undefined waistline, sometimes with that waistline protruding past these two measurements at the shoulders and the hips. And then finally, we have the inverted triangle. So the inverted triangle is going to have wider shoulders. So their widest part of their body is going to be their shoulders. They can be busty or not. It just depends on the lady. And then as you measure down, the measurement is going to be smaller and smaller. So their hip measurement and their booty measurement and their waistline, their booty, and their hip measurement are all a little bit smaller. This particular shape, I hear ladies say, that they have no booty, or they have chicken legs, or they too have a hard time finding things sitting that will sit on their waist correctly. So then they'll fall or whatever if they aren't exactly sure how to style it. But if you're somebody who has wide shoulders and then you have no booty, you most likely are this body shape. Okay, so I showed you the 5 body shapes, and why I talk about this so much is just exactly the way I explained at the very beginning. Because once a woman is armed with the information that she needs in order to know I am this body shape and this is what's specific about me, there are certain clothes that are best for each shape. Like, certain shapes look better with wide legs. Certain shapes look better with skinnies. Certain shapes look better with flare and boot cut. And when you know that, and as far as pants are concerned, it makes all the difference, because then you stay away. So like, I'm an hourglass body shape. One of the worst styles of pants for my body shape is skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are really narrow at the ankle, not a straight leg, but a skinny jean where it tapers at the ankle. All that style of jean does for my body shape is make my rear end look so much bigger. Same goes for pairs. It's just not a good look. It's not one of the first through like 3 or 4 preferred styles for my shape. And when I know that I either need to make balancing tricks to add weight visually to my style with adding a certain type of shoe or a boot if I choose to wear a skinny, or choose a different type of top that's going to balance that as well. It makes all the difference. It goes from saying, I don't know why this doesn't work, or I don't like these clothes anymore, to, oh, it's because I don't have the right shoes. I can wear this. Or no, I really need to donate all of that because it's just not what's best for my body shape. And it just makes it empowers women to, instead of feeling not confident when they're getting dressed in the morning, to this amazing confidence. And next thing you know, people are asking you, did you lose weight? Did you get your hair colored? What did you do? Something's different, because you walk differently. You have confidence about you. And it is so amazing. And it is what drives me as a stylist and a boutique owner. It is so exciting when it clicks for somebody, for one of my customers, when it clicks and it's like, oh, yes, that is what is best for me. And it's the smallest little thing, but it's almost like therapy. Like, I know I'm not a therapist. Lord knows I have not gone to school to be a therapist, but it's like a breakthrough where women create this confidence about them. And it's just so powerful. And it's like this little bitty thing that I provide to them through educating and empowering them with this knowledge. And it just changes their world. And it's so important to me. So this podcast, I'm hoping, will be just that. It'll be educating, it'll be empowering, it'll be enlightening. Let hear from other ladies in their struggles, because let me tell you, if you're in my seat and you see all these women coming in and out, and I work with ladies in person and I also work with ladies remotely. We do remote styling sessions too. And so I've met with thousands of women, and they all say the same thing. They all tell me that they don't like their knees, or they don't like their stomach, or they have a mom pooch or a pasta pooch or a menopause pooch, or their boobs are too big or their boobs are too little. And by the way, it does not matter their size. It is amazing that somebody who is a size 0 or a size 2 literally will complain about their figure and about what they don't like about their body, or how they're dressing or whatever. I hear the same things from women who are size 20. And through the years, in my own research, my own, not peer reviewed research, I can tell you with confidence, it's us. It's us as women. We are the hardest on ourselves. We don't need our best friend to tell us, oh no, girl, that does not look good, because we're already telling ourselves that, regardless if it looks good. Instead of looking at the possibilities of how our bodies can look amazing with this dress or this outfit, we tell ourselves, oh no, that I can't, I don't like my knees. I don't like my calves. I don't like the way my cleavage looks. Like, we are so hard on ourselves. In 8 years, I've been doing this since 2017. I can't figure out why. Because when I help a woman, now there's times when I will be like, nope, that's not for you. That didn't fit you the way I thought it would, moving on. But when we get something that's beautiful and they're still picking and pulling and telling me what they don't like about it, I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see your knees. I don't see this pooch. I don't see saggy boobs. Well, I do see saggy boobs, but once I've explained that they have to have the right bra, and we'll talk about that in another podcast, I don't see that. I don't see the things that women are picking apart. And I genuinely don't. I'm not saying it to sell things. I'm saying it like, no, you are beautiful. And it's in your head. It's how you're seeing yourself. And I struggle with it too. I'm no different. I struggle with it constantly. And I have to stop myself and say, what am I doing? Why am I being so hard on myself? I do tons. My body has birthed 3 children, been pregnant with 4. Like, that is amazing. Like, the things that we can do and the power that we have as women is amazing. Why aren't we celebrating that? We celebrate it with our friends. We tell our friends, good job. Why aren't we saying that in our inner voice? That is why I keep doing this. Because that is powerful. I've literally seen lives change from these little bitty adjustments that you make in your clothes. Because at the end of the day, and I've said this for years, it's not about the clothes. It's about the women in the clothes. And so, in a small way, being empowered with this information, it's life-changing. And so I invite you to keep following, to follow our YouTube channel, to share it, to like it, to make comments, to engage, to go to our Instagram, to go to our Facebook, to go to our website, and just be part of the Sweet Lifer community, because it really makes a difference. And thank you for being here. And I really appreciate all of you. And if I could work with every one of you, I would. So I didn't expect to cry. That's one thing. I get very passionate, and I think that's what keeps me going. So thanks for being here. All right. I don't have a tissue, so I got to go get a tissue. But thank you for being here, and I hope we have fun learning together and learning more about each other.